Flow State Jedi's, welcome to main character May. This is where I hear an applause. Fantastic. Welcome to the channel. My name is Suman Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy. I'm a flow state specialist, so I help you feel your best and perform your best. Today we're talking about procrastination, okay? So what gives me the authority to talk about this? Okay, I'm a pro at procrastinating, okay? Because I procrastinate on my procrastination, that's why. A lot of my clients come to me struggling with this issue, procrastination. You see, procrastination is linked to your self-sabotage, okay? It really is. Because it's basically you not being able to handle the stress of not doing something, right? You really got to do something, but you can't do it. Or it doesn't feel nice. It doesn't feel effortless, right? You feel this bit of difficulty. Now, understand that to be a high performer, you're gonna have to go through difficult situations, okay? The world isn't gonna hand you like a bouquet of roses, some confectionaries, some gold stars. It'll be like Disney, like all these animals walking into the room and like applauding you, okay? It's not gonna happen, okay? So you gotta have that internal validation for yourself and that self-belief. A belief attached to your self-image, how you see yourself. Number one, you want to improve your energy and your focus, okay? If you're draining your energy way too much, if you're doing tasks that are depleting your energy, you need to understand how to have energy maintenance. Focus is another important thing, okay? You don't want to make your focus fizzle out, okay? The focus is almost like the magnifying glass, right? And the energy is like the sun. And together, we have that intensity. So with the energy, you can actually focus, right? With a lot more energy, you can have a lot more focus, actually, okay? But it needs to be honed in, it needs to be dialed in, okay? A lot of the times, we prioritize things in the short term rather than the long term. However, we've actually got to work in a different way if we want to take power over this. You bliss junkies out there, you got to learn how not to give in to instant gratification, okay? What are some ways to do this? I know specifically when I want to put off, let's say I'm feeling really horny or something like that. I lie down, knees up, hand over the belly, and I will send energy down to my sacral chakra. This is a bioenergetic exercise for sexual neediness, okay? So I will do that. I have an advanced sexual healing file that I will listen to, okay? I've always recommended keeping a not to-do list, okay? So when you're working and you're getting distracted, you quickly write it down as like a scrap sheet on a scrap sheet, and then you just kind of rip it up or throw it away after the task is done. I wonder if I left my skis at the country club. You see, the main thing about procrastination that you got to understand is it's mainly related to your executive function, okay? Your prefrontal cortex, your executive function, your ability to make decisions, okay? So you got to practice your decisiveness, man. Keep a timer for your decisiveness. If you take an hour to order something online, do it in like 5 minutes, okay? Do it in 2 minutes. See if you can beat your high score, okay? You got to make this thing exciting for you, man. A lot of the tasks that you get is homework and other stuff. You don't want to do it, man, because it's hella boring. But you got to make it fun. That's the thing. You know yourself better than anybody, man. If giraffes aren't fun to you, I'm not going to give you a task with, oh, have this giraffe, do this and envision that the giraffe is doing that. And giraffes trigger the fuck out of you or something, right? So you're like, no, I don't want to do that. Guess what? That task has nothing to do with your love for giraffes or not. It's giving you an example and an analogy based on that thing. The world can't suddenly, roll out like a red carpet and then give you everything you want, okay? You got to get out of this weird entitlement thing that the world owes you something. The world owes you nothing, okay? Zero. It just is. The world just is. The world is neutral. The world isn't positive or negative. It just is, okay? It's our minds that create our reality. And no mind being let's just call it the docking station or something like that. I don't know what to call it. So for executive function, oh, there's the word fun in function. That's good news, okay? So for executive function, you've got to understand that number one, I'm going to start learning how to plan. And I hate that word, man. I'm going to change that word. I'm going to reframe it later, but let's just use the word plan for now, okay? Second P, prioritize. Third P, perfectionism. Last P, pipe up. Okay? Just do it. Just do it. Just take the action or carry on the tasks, right? So how are you prioritizing your day, right? Are the most urgent and important tasks being done first? And are you delegating your other tasks for people that can handle it for you, right? You want to save time, money, and energy. This is why we buy certain products and different things like this. Hey, it's cool that you learned something about mouth breathing and then you buy some mouth tape to, help you biohack. That's cool, man. I get little things like this all the time, but again, I'm looking for a long-term solution. Like that, my chisel thing for the jawline, that is a long-term solution, right? That's not gonna work in the short term. So I understand that. And I also understand that the best biohacking is free, bro. I don't need to go outside and purchase it from some supplement store. I have all this stuff naturally in my system. My brain is a fucking pharmacy, you get that? And so is yours. So you've got to be able to walk into that pharmacy every day and pick out what you need. You need some serotonin, get in the sun. You need some dopamine, give yourself a reward, It's pretty basic understanding, okay? You got to use your chemicals for you, not against you or to you. Your neurochemicals have got to happen through you. Imagine your future self right now. Let's say you finished all the tasks, you're ripped, you have all the money, everything is done, everything is complete, okay? There's nothing for you to do, and therefore there's nothing for you to procrastinate on. I want you to tap into that state right now. Good. Practice this, okay? Those of you who have had difficulty doing this and practicing this, if you felt like the person I'm imagining feels like a stranger, I mean, look at me, I can never be like that. That's a self-limiting belief, bro. That's a story. What are you talking about? You can't do that. You can. You can. Other people have done it. You can do it too. If you see your future self as a stranger, you gotta make friends with them first. The people who see their future selves as strangers tend to procrastinate more. Remember this. So your future self has got to be like your best friend. The language of success, according to AZD, right, is future-paced, okay? And it's very seductive too. It's future-based. It's not present-based, okay? The next thing is working with confrontation. Okay, I've had to really work on this, doubling down and confronting things or confronting situations or confronting people about certain things or misunderstandings and so forth. Mostly it's misunderstandings, right? It's mostly from miscommunication and things like this, where people start to malfunction, okay? Malware detected, okay, in your internal world or whatever. Wasn't it Mike Tyson who said discipline is doing something that you hate doing, but doing it like you love it, right? And I think that is powerful as a quote, but you got to understand that it also comes down to self-regulation and your self-image, okay? Those two things are really, really key for procrastination, I'm telling you, okay? Yes, there's the neurochemical element to it, like getting enough sunlight and getting enough, putting your brain into that alpha waves at times and, all of these other benefits and hacks. But ultimately, you want to work on confronting with love, okay? Confront something with that personal power. You get what I mean? Try and feel okay feeling unsafe. That's another big thing for procrastination, right? When you feel unsafe, like primarily it's your amygdala that's in charge of procrastination, okay? Your amygdala just wants to focus on survival. It doesn't really care about many other things. Yeah, it's basically going into the limbic system, the fear response, okay? So if you feel a resistance towards safe tasks, understand that might not be procrastination exactly, it might be burnout as well, okay? So you need a lot more rest, okay? How do you deal with burnout? Active recovery, okay? Active recovery is one of the best ways, doing something very light and relaxing, a relaxing, non-taxing thing, okay? The amygdala wants the safest, predictable, and certain options. Isn't this what people think the ego is, right? Whenever people talk about the ego, they're always like, oh, it just wants you to be in your comfort zone, right? It wants you to be safe. Bro, that's your fear that wants you to do that, okay? And yes, fear is pervaded by the ego at times, but that's not the only thing that the ego does, bro. You get what I mean? Like, hey, we understood from the Dilts model that it was half and half, right? You can't go full ego, you can't go full soul. It's not sustainable. You want to be sustainable. That's why you're on this channel. You want to thrive, you want to be your best, you want to optimize yourself, you want to get that glow up. And so, you've got to do different things that people aren't doing. Extraordinary behavior leads to extraordinary results, okay? Just because somebody's doing a weird behavior, okay? Like, I do a lot of weird behaviors, okay? Where people, normies or mediocre people, okay, would be like, the fuck is that guy doing? He's gonna injure himself, right? Or something like that. So, I know what I'm doing. They don't need to know what I'm doing, okay? This is what it takes to be a trailblazer, to be a pioneer. You guys get that? You're gonna have to be looked at, and you're gonna have to be like, okay, so what? You think I'm weird? I don't. I think I'm limited edition as fuck. Okay, I'm a rare breed, motherfucker. Let's go. So growth driving activities and habit stacking are two important things when it comes down to procrastination, okay? Habit stacking is, doing things in increments of 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. So let's say that you don't want to write your essay, you read a book for 5 minutes, you meditate for 5 minutes, you jog for 5 minutes, okay? 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, okay? 5, 5 method, like working out. But this is for the brain, okay? The brain gym. The reason that this works is because we have this kind of 5-minute barrier from the amygdala going, hey, wait a minute, 5 minutes has passed. It's actually not that bad, okay? So we're actually transferring the energy of one task onto the next one. And that's the power of stacking, right? And if you understand about momentum in peak performance, stacking is essential to get. The next thing that's really, really key when it comes down to procrastination is having people who are going to keep you accountable. So the more pro-social behaviors that you have, it's going to affect your vagal tone and your vagus nerve, relaxing you, okay? Making you more calmer and more pleasant and happier, right? When you're around others and so forth. You might get very irritable, stuck to your own self, stuck to your own mind, not talking to anybody, okay? Let's say you did something that you said you weren't going to do, so that would be a distraction, right? So attraction would be like, you say you're gonna do it, then you do it. Distraction would be like, you say you're gonna do it, you don't do it, right? So you were distracted. What if you gave yourself a negative reinforcement or a punishment, like I have to do like 10 push-ups now or 20 push-ups, whatever. You can give yourself a bigger goal depending on how much you can handle or whatever. You know what I mean? Like if you can't do a single push-up, don't give yourself like 100. You know what I mean? It's straightforward, but you know what I mean? Some people just give themselves way too big of a task and they can't get those little wins, right? Those little dopamine ding, 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 right? Like when you're playing a video game, you get these little power-ups. If you're getting no power-ups throughout the game, right? Nobody's congratulating you. You have no momentum, no energy's coming from anywhere. You're just fizzling yourself out. You're gonna keep procrastinating because it's associated with, you see yourself as a procrastinator, you see? You're saying, I am a procrastinator. I do that. I'm really good at it. And you're reinforcing those things. You know what? What if you started to tell yourself, I'm a peak performer. I'm a peak performer. I'm a high performer. I'm a successful individual. Okay? What comes up? Is your fear of success, your self-sabotage? What comes up for you? The reason I say tribe too is like, let's say you see other people winning around you, right? And thriving, you're gonna be like, hey, if they can do it, I can do it too. Okay? So your amygdala is gonna like look for safety in the environment of the tribe, and when you do feel safe in the tribe, then you feel this sense of like, there's growth happening, there's potential blooming, okay? So we procrastinate because we're doing something that is not very predictable, okay? We're not sure how it's gonna go. It might go into fear of failure or fear of success and everything in between, but it's fear in general that holds you back. Remember when I mentioned one of the P's, okay, of that procrastination model is perfectionism. So a lot of people, they feel like it needs to be perfect. It's not perfect yet. I just need to add a few more tweaks. And then it gets extended or hyperextended, right, in the future. I know I've got to do this, but I will do it later. That is procrastination. I know that this is important to me and I value these things. However, I might as well do it later. Why? Because it feels bad. Bro, you are not your feelings. Feelings are not your facts, okay, of life. Feelings are temporary, hardwired, evolutionary things that are just popping up, okay? Don't give so much, attention to your emotions like that. Don't like drop everything at the drop of a hat. We watch these movies where like, someone is dropping everything and going to some random country to be with the love of their life or something, and then they're completely broke within a week or something. Like don't make impulsive, brash, weird choices either. You gotta be solid with your decision making, okay? Decide to cut all other options out. You know how people say, if you have to do something, you have to do it incredibly well. You have to be in extreme excellence, and practice will make perfect. All of these things they'll tell you, right? Bro, I'm okay taking action imperfectly. I am perfectly taking action imperfectly. You get what I'm saying? It's harmonious in that way, baby. It's wabi-sabi. That's what I'm talking about. It's imperfectly perfect. You see? I don't need this video to be perfect. Who it's gonna help, it's gonna help. I know that this video is gonna cause a ripple in someone's mind. And they're gonna use some of the things that I've told them, and they're gonna optimize. They're like, why the fuck am I putting this project off? It's been like 2 weeks, bro. Seriously, get it done. Get it done. There's no excuses. There's really not any, okay? But I was sick last week, yeah, my dog died. How many other excuses are you gonna have, right? The teachers can only accept a bunch of things, right? Another one would be like, oh yeah, my mental illness. And then you don't go to work for like 3 whole months or something because of your mental illness, okay? Listen. Let yourself handle this thing, okay? Stop procrastinating on your healing too. I see a lot of people procrastinating on their actual healing of their traumas, okay? That's keeping them in another bad loop, right? But if I go to a life coach or a therapist or a psychologist or someone that can help me, people will think I'm crazy. I don't want them to. Are you really valuing someone else's opinions more than yourself? Your self-esteem, your self-image? Are you not the most important person to you? No, actually, my grandfather was one of the greatest men that I've... Shut the fuck up, bro. You are the most important person to you. Okay? That's why you're on this video. It's self-development. You're here for yourself. And you know why? Because when you can focus on correcting yourself and improving yourself, you will improve everyone else around you. As within, so without. As above, so below. You are doing the universe a favor when you are healing. You get that? Procrastination is the amygdala's effort to stay in a little box, to stay in certainty. It has to be like this. It has to look like that. It has to speak like this. It has to be like this. It can't go outside the lines. I can't color outside the lines because that's not allowed. Yo, what happened to your innovation? What happened to your spontaneous creative excellence, right? That just comes out at random times and you're like, you know what? Maybe I will get this project done today. But it doesn't start like that, right? You don't randomly get an epiphany. You've got to engineer your epiphanies. By what? Feeling good, relaxing the body, moving it around, stretching, meditating, doing what you need to do, right? Today when I had MMA training, I asked my trainer to crack my back like I always do, right? It's that little physiotherapy that goes, ooh, man, hits the right spot, perks you up in your cerebral spinal fluid, and then suddenly you're like just zipping around, right? It feels so good, man. It feels really good. I felt so relaxed, And yeah, if you can have someone step on your back, by all means, okay? Be careful though, don't just do it because you heard it on YouTube, okay? So shady. Instead of being afraid of the negative and positive consequences, just tell yourself how the hell do you know what's gonna happen? You don't. You just have to take action, right? If there's a voice in your head telling you that you can't paint, by all means start painting and that voice will disappear, okay? I believe that was Van Gogh. You do the thing and you get the power. You see, what our brain really does is it protects us from the unknown. So you're gonna have to fall in love with the unknown. That's how you get good at not procrastinating, see? Hey, I have to hand in this project. Let's get it done, right? Hey, okay, bye. Listen, man, I'm writing lyrics to my new song, right? And I'm thinking, are you gonna suffer by proxy or suffer by design? Okay? Are you gonna suffer based on being passive and life just attacking you and pushing your head into the sand? Or are you actively gonna challenge yourself? And yeah, you're gonna go through some suffering, but it's self-imposed grit. It's an implementation velocity that you're allowing to emerge. It's you setting your own standard. Man, I've downloaded a habit tracker again. I'm getting real disciplined this month, okay? Tracking my calories too, MyFitnessPal. Man. And I'm honestly having a little bit of fun with it because I'm like, yo, this is like I'm looking at my body like a science experiment, right? I'm looking at my mind like a science experiment, right? What are the apps that I can optimize? And obviously keep them on the first page of your phone screen, right? The apps that you really want to use. Don't use the apps that you procrastinate and have them be the first thing that you see when you unlock your phone, okay? I've been doing this for a really long time, so I know these things, but if you aren't implementing these things and you're just watching these videos because they're entertaining and I'm like a cool dude or whatever, that's besides the point, right? Like, okay, I know I'm cool, right? There's no doubt about it, but how are you gonna use these things, right, to make your day better, to make your life better, to enhance other people that you come across, right? Maybe transfer some of this energy onto you so that you can walk into a store with more confidence or walk through the world with more vivacity, vigor, effervescence. That's what it's really about, yo. So I wanted to make this little video right now for day one of main character May. Understanding that we're not gonna easily procrastinate anymore. You know why? Because we're peak performers. We don't see ourselves in that way anymore. We just don't see it. Oh, no, that makes sense for Fred. He's gonna procrastinate, not me, bro. It makes sense for that random person who lives down the street to procrastinate, but not me. Makes sense. It don't make sense. Young boy, it makes sense. It don't make sense. Guys, we have Primal, Sutra, an elite program, $99 a month. Get it while it's hot, okay? We're starting this month. Join our tribe. This is very specific for the high peak performers, okay? This is also magical path working, so we're working with a lot of different types of ancient wisdom, esoteric texts. We're focusing on all of that stuff, right? And bringing it through into our reality. So if you are interested in that, definitely shoot me a message. We also have, on the 15th, we have the event. I'm gonna link it down below too. It's the Matches in Today's Challenge. That's also for $99. If you can just get yourself 200 bucks, you're good, right? Attend both of those because that's gonna be important to you, okay? It's going to be important to you, I'm telling you right now. And once you can do that, you can follow along with this ripple effect that we're causing, okay? I'm not looking for just random dabblers and stuff, okay? You got to give a proper reason as to why me and why now, okay? That's it. Why is it important to you that you do it right now? Is this a later thing or a now thing, okay? Again, procrastination. If you really want to heal your procrastination, just hire a coach, bro. Okay, have you ever done that? Yeah, but I spent a lot of money on this dropshipping course. It was like $2K or something, and it never really worked. And so I've just really diminished every other coach out there who's planning to help me and, kind of shut down all my other options. I'll never work with a coach again. Well, I'm sorry you had to go through that, my friend, okay? I'm sorry people are such dicks, okay? I don't know what to tell you. But I do know that that's not the case with me, bro. You know it, right? Who else is posting every single day and doing it like I am, okay? Nobody. And that's what you got to respect about yourself, bro, your work ethic, right? Like just getting stuff done, bro. Get it done, right? It's not that bad. You're just being a dick to your future self, okay? You're just being an asshole to your future self, bro. You're giving yourself more hard work at the last second. And maybe that works for you. I used to be a great incubator, right? Like just handing in the assignment on the last day, doing the work on the last day. If it's important enough to you, you'll do it. You see? It's just not as important in your mind as opposed to other things. But if that thing is like your utmost important thing, you're not going to easily procrastinate on it. I'm telling you, on days even when you're tired, you're still going to go and get enough from it, right? Imperfect action is still action. That's what I'm saying. So shut that amygdala off, okay? A good way to do this is also like closing your eyes and going like side to side with your eyes. You know why? Because back in the day when we used to scan the environment, right, to look for safety. So when we look around and we see that, so when we look from left to right and we see that there's nothing bad happening, our amygdala kind of centers itself and calms down. There's no threats, okay? That doesn't mean that every environment you go to, you start going like this, okay? That's kind of strange too, bro. You know what I mean? Like go to a restroom or something, or, you know, close your eyes and do it, okay? There's always optimizations for this kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Like, just because, I mean, I'll straight up do it in the middle of public. I don't even give a fuck, you know what I mean? Like, who cares who's watching me, right? Like, even if it was the president or whatever, I'd just be like, hey, sir, just doing some amygdala exercises, right? Or whatever. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna end it here. Have an incredible day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. We're all gonna make it. May the flow be with you. Hit that like, subscribe button. You already know, man. We're all gonna win.